Welcome to After the Last Dog. I am Dara, and this is where we talk about the business side of grooming and pet care after the appointments are done. Over the next 4 weeks, we are going to be talking about culture, structure, team, and why hiring is so exhausting. You are not just hiring to fill a table. You are hiring someone into the way your salon works. And groomers are not only looking for a job, they are looking for a place where they can do good work, where they can be supported, and where they don't have to spend their entire time wondering how things are supposed to be done. So when you ask yourself, why can't I find one solid person? The answer is really simple. Every salon is looking for the exact same groomer. You are not the only one. When every help wanted ad out there looks and reads the exact same thing, the right groomer has no reason to see why your salon is different from any other one. A good groomer is not only asking, what does this job pay? They should, or are probably asking, what is this salon like? How are the pets handled? How does the team work under pressure? Will I know how things are done here? Will I be supported, or will I be left to figure it out by myself and do the same thing I've done at every other salon I've walked into and have to learn on the fly? Does this look like a place that takes good work seriously? Because here is what you have to remember. Again, you are not the only one looking for this unicorn. Good groomers are looking also. They are looking for a place where they can do that work, do what they do best, a place that's going to embrace them, a place where they are not walking into, what's going to happen today every single morning. They want a place where they can feel like they can ask a question without looking stupid. A place where they are not expected to just know what the owner wants and then potentially get in trouble later because they may have not done it the right way. They are looking for a salon where the pets come first. The clients are just as important, and the team is doing and understands their roles and their jobs. And that does not mean your salon has to be perfect ever. It does not mean that your day is never, ever, ever going to get messy or busy or whatever. But there is really a big difference between a busy salon and a salon where everyone is just getting through the day. And that is exhausting. This is a difference between a full schedule with a team who knows what they're doing together. There is a huge difference between we are busy and we have no rhythm or reason of why we're doing what we're doing. And the groomer you are trying to find usually feels that difference pretty quickly because it can't be hidden. They may not come out and ask you, so how does your team handle pressure? What happens when someone is not sure what to do? How do you make sure pets are being handled the way you want them handled, right? Those are not common. They're not going to be asking you, but they're going to be watching. They're going to be looking as they walk around the shop, especially if they're coming in off the street or you're doing a pre-interview tour. They can see it, how that front desk interacts with the client. They are going to feel it the minute they walk in. They're going to see how people react and talk to each other without even knowing that this is going on in their head. They are going to see that overwhelmed look in somebody's face. They are going to notice when you, as the owner, is doing every job in the building at once by the way you introduce them. And they're also going to notice whether that salon feels like a place where people help one another or that place where everyone is trying to not get the blame. And this type of unicorn is not settling or staying long in one place unless they find their home. And they are far and few in between. And that brings me to something I have learned over the years. The front of the salon tells clients what you want them to see. That's all it is. That's your mirror, right? That's what you want them to see. The back of the salon often tells your team how the business really runs. You can't hide it. Now, I'm not saying that it has to be perfect every single minute of the day, because we know that's not the reality. The issue is the patterns that are there. Thinking about it in these terms, does your bathing room have a rhythm? Is there a place for things? Are things out of order? Is there a process, or is it just do it the way you do it and get it done? Do others know what is happening, or is it a free-for-all and just do whatever you see fit to get it done? Does someone know which dog is, air quoting, done, and what that done looks like? Which dog needs more help? Which dog needs a break? Which dog still needs something? Or are people working around all different ways with all different pieces of information and clutter and half-finished tasks and last minute, oh my God, we got this all day long? Because that tells you something, and a good groomer can see it. It also tells you whether the salon has a workable way of moving through the day, or it's just winging it and hoping it works out. I know it's a lot, but this also is going to really help you when you're starting to look for people. This kind of thought process it's going to tell you whether people and tell that groomer that you were potentially hiring or interviewing how everybody supports each other and how they support the pets. It's going to tell whether there are actually workflows, and those workflows have care behind them, or if someone else is left finishing and picking up the pieces later, right? The right groomer does not just want to know how many dogs they can take and what the pay is. They want to know what's happening around the dogs. They want to know whether the day has a workflow. They want to know whether people communicate with each other properly and respect each other. They want to know whether that bathing room, grooming area, front desk, and pickup, all of those areas work together instead of against each other. And, they want to know whether the person last out is left holding up the rest of the salon and keeping it together for the next day. And truth be told, they themselves, again, they don't know what it is they are seeing. They just know that, I don't know, let's call it a sense, right? They know it. They can see it. They can feel it in their gut. And it might not even be one, or it could be one of those things or all of them together, but they don't, but there's something there. And most salons operate like this. And it's exhausting. Shared spaces. Ooh, my favorite part of this. Shared spaces can tell you so much about a business, right? The break room, the bathroom, the laundry or storage areas, or the storage closets. The places clients do not ever see. Shared spaces can show so much about how the team works together and if they respect each other and the business. Actions speak louder than words, and that is the kind of thing good groomers are noticing. They really want to know whether they are just joining a salon where people care about not only how the work progresses, but whether the owner notices how these little things affect the team. People want to know whether there is a a way to bring up a big problem before it turns into a much larger ordeal. They also want to know whether they're going to be expected, if they're a really good employee, to pick up the slack of somebody else's unfinished work. All these come out. So when you say, I just need one solid person, I really want you to think about this differently. You are not needing one magical person who comes in and fixes everything. You may need to make your salon standards easier for the right person to recognize. Because when your job ad says, busy salon hiring, must have experience at least 3 years, certified, must love dogs, competitive pay, benefits in W-2, team player wanted, drama free. Yeah, right. That'll be the day. You might get some applications, but you are not telling someone what they are getting into. You are telling them that there's an opening and I have to fill this table. And the truth is, if you are always hiring and your ads are consistently out there on all platforms, that is a sure thing for me to say, whoops, stay clear of that place. They may have great grooming, but the ownership is a mess. And if that is the case, some internal work may be needed to get looking into. And what better time to do that than right now? If you just had a little aha moment here, yeah, right? Because been there, done that, made all the mistakes. Pat yourself on the back, because if you're going, oh, wait, that sounds like me, that's a little bit of growth right there, and good for you. I'm not trying to shame or blame or point fingers or anything, but I'm trying to bring truth to this. A job opening says, we need help. That's it. We need help. We're filling a table and we need it now or soon or whatever. But a strong hiring message says, hey guys, here's the kind of salon that this is. Here is what matters here. Here is how we do things. Here is what helps someone do well here. And that is where hiring starts to change, because you suddenly have more applicants who are going, oh, wait, they're doing what? That's cool. Okay, that sounds like me. Hey, I'm that kind of personality. And you don't have to look and sound like every other boring hiring ad out there, because you just go through one of those Facebook groups and every single ad is the same. And oh my God, it's all the same people posting all the time. Not every person who applies is going to be a good fit, but now you stop hoping that the right person can somehow read your mind and read your ad and know what you're hiring for. And instead they read your ad and go, oh my God, this is for me. And do me a favor, keep it short. People don't read, they skim. Fact. And another owner tip, this goes to your websites as well. People don't read. Skim. That's it. Bullet points. Now you start giving them a better picture of your job hiring position. Instead of only saying, looking for an experienced groomer for a busy salon, you may do something like, we are a pet-first focused salon that values patient handling, honest client communication, and a team that supports each other. We are looking for a groomer who cares about doing the small things well, communicates when support is needed, and wants to be part of a salon where good haircuts are centered around humane handling and not a push-through grooming mentality. Now that speaks to someone. Someone's going to read that and realize this is either a place for me or nope, not interested. And that's okay. that is so much more helpful because now you're weeding out people you don't need to spend time interviewing. We're going to come back to that in a later episode because your goal here is to not attract every groomer who needs a job. Your goal is to attract the one person who can do good work inside the way your salon works. And that means knowing and understanding the way your salon works. And we're going to talk more about that. But you do not need a fancy mission statement. You do not need a bunch of inspiring words on your walls that nobody ever reads. You just need to be able to say what is true about the salon or your salon and what works best. That becomes the beginning of how you hire. And it becomes the beginning of how you know who is a good fit, because not everybody is a good fit. So here is what I want you to take from this episode this week, because another post and another job before you even post another help wanted job, whatever, and it just says, I just need somebody to fill a table. Before you start scrolling through applications, that is going to take you forever. I want you to take 10 minutes and sit down and think about this and answer these two sentences. At our best, this salon is a place where blank, and fill in that blank. And then the next one, the person who does well inside our salon is someone who blank. Do not make it generic. Get emotional. Do not say, we want someone who loves dogs, or someone who's great with scissoring skills, or has 3 years of experience, because that's what everybody wants. You're fighting for the same people. So most people applying to work in a grooming salon, we all know they better love dogs, right? I mean, you don't need to post that. You need to go deeper. You need to think about and hit the emotional side. Maybe your first sentence is, at our best, this salon is where pets are cared for with patience, clients feel confident leaving their dogs with us, and every person leaves the space better for the next one. I mean, who doesn't want to have something like that? And maybe the person who does well here takes care of the pet's needs first and speaks up when help is needed. Maybe, think about it. Your salon is going to be different from every other salon out there, so make it personal to you. Maybe your salon has a specialty and a uniqueness. Maybe you are a company that works with a lot of nervous pets, or your team. You want your team to be very education focused first, or your clients value this highly specialized personalization that you give them. Whatever it is, you are building a place that is yours, and write what is true about your salon to the person you're trying to attract, because they need to fit that kind of culture. And now that you wrote these 2 sentences, or that you're thinking about them, now look at your current job ad. Would the right groomer recognize your salon in it? Or does it look like a carbon copy of everybody else's out there? Would they understand what matters most to you as a business owner? Would they see what kind of place they are applying to work at? Or does it sound, again, like every other ad in your area? Because you are not the only one trying to fill that table. You are trying to find someone who can become part of your team, your work culture, and represent your business. And that is personal. Anyone can work for you, but not anyone can fit into your work culture that you have created. So here is the question I want you to sit with this week. Would a good groomer understand why they should choose your salon from the way you describe the job role in your ad? Because again, you are not just hiring someone to groom. You are hiring someone into the way your salon works and operates. The businesses not hiring are the ones who are doing that well. Would a good groomer understand why they should choose your salon from every other hundreds, thousands of ads out there right now by the way you describe the role? If you would like more help with this, I am happy to help in any way I can. All you have to do is reach out. I have 2 free courses on our YouTube channel that you can get started on right away that talks about work culture, employee handbooks, and hiring with intention. Okay, that is it for today's episode of After the Last Dog. I really hope this gave you something useful to think about, and that the next time a problem shows up in your salon, you have the answer. I will see you next time, because after the last dog, the most important work of your business starts happening. Have a great day.